many of you came here tonight expecting this? A simple gift is all I have to bring to him and sing to him my song, to share as best I can about his blessings every day, how he hears me when I pray and he never turns away, to use the very voice he gave to praise him thankfully, to put in words the way I feel and what it means to me when it's spring in my heart. My Lord is the season, and love's the easiest part. I know He's the reason. Whenever the sounds that often surround me fall like sadness on my ear, I close my eyes till I hear music. When I'm lost and afraid, my Lord is beside me. Though my direction's astray, I know He will guide me. Whenever I chance to dance to the pipers, who can only bring me tears, I look to you, Lord, and you're my music. He's the source of the music that's in me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. We're getting radio for you.
Radio for you.
It was grace that taught my heart to feel, and grace my fears relieve. How precious did that grace appear on the hour that I first believed. Through many dangers, toils and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and the grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as a sun, we know less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I've been found. I was blind, but now I see. one song in my entire repertoire of 6 that I used the guitar pick on. It was a big moment for me. And second thought, forget it. I don't want to do it. I have to retune the guitar. One thing that I never do when I sing here at the Jesus House, and I will, confess something, that I'm always really lax when I come here. Sam, a friend that's sitting up here, asked me earlier, he said, are you nervous? Are you prepared? I said, no, I don't like to prepare. I believe in divine illumination about 5 minutes before and hope for the best and hope that nobody throws it. Well, anyway, I do get nervous. It's funny, for those of you who don't know, I sing sort of professionally. I mean, I always kind of cringe at that because I sing in restaurants and stuff, and I do fine. I can sing, Country Roads Take Me Home, and I really jazz it up, and make all the facial moves and all that other stuff. But when I sing about songs that convict me, I have a really hard time. I could sing on a street corner with sunglasses and a dog and not feel ashamed at all, you know what I'm saying? But I feel embarrassed when I get up in front of my Christian friends, and I think that's sort of an antithesis because I shouldn't feel nervous around people that I know believe the same things I do. But if you ever want to learn and get good experience and you're thinking about pursuing a singing career, go sing for somebody that's had about 12 margaritas. They think you're wonderful. They think, oh, you're so good. And so, it's been great for my ego. Except for when I see the guy laying out on the street the next day, it sort of spoils the effect, I get harassed constantly by my musical peers because I like a real set style of music, and it's probably a little bit reflected. Hold on. In the songs I do, like I just took Amazing Grace and I kind of, whatever you want to call that, jazzed it up or jazzed it down. This is probably the hardest song for me to sing because of what it says, and it's a hymn also. I've really been getting into hymns lately and just saying they wouldn't have lasted 100, 200 years if they didn't say something and they didn't sustain us through a lot of rough things. So. Oh, I also wanted to say that this is the 4th time I've sung at the Jesus House, and it's been a full moon every time. So that may explain a lot to you after this night is over, if you're wondering why you came. Okay. All I can see is this white thing moving. What are you guys doing down there? Calm down, please. I'll speak up. Oh, to Jesus I surrender. Oh, to Him I freely give. I will ever love and trust Him. In His presence daily live. I surrender my own. I surrender my own. Oh, to be my blessed Savior, I surrender my own. Oh, to Jesus I surrender. Lord, I give myself to Thee. These worldly pleasures, they're all forsaken. Let Your blessing just fall on me. I surrender my own. I surrender my own. Oh, to Thee, my blessed Savior, I surrender my own. Oh, you can clap now. No, I'm just kidding. No. I know you're all saying to yourself, she should do something peppy, right? Right? Well, I'm sorry. I don't feel like being happy, okay? I want to be depressed.
Okay.
That's one thing that really bugs me, when I go out and I sing professionally. People say, can't you do something like rock and roll, Hey, well, yeah, if I had, a drum on my foot and a, bass guitar on my back. And rock and roll, or that kind of music requires a little bit more depth of instrumentation to it. Can Rich and Beth and I do one now? Because I don't feel like doing this next one right now. I'm waiting for the Spirit to illumine me. Can we do it? Rich Mullins, I'm sure all of you know him and love him with all your heart as much as I do. And Beth's now, Rich and Beth and I used to live together, but we weren't married. I'll confess right now. We used to live together, and we used to just sit around and do music and get really wild, man, heavily into the scene, So those were our happy days. And so we're going to do one now that we did then. Yeah, maybe.
Actually, we never got together and played. We just got together and tried to figure out who was going to sit where. Is this on those things? Yeah. Sure? Well, I'm going to unplug it. This is a song that we used to do when we used to get together and sing. What do you want to remember? It's called Homeward Ways. But see, I play it on the dulcimer and I don't know how to do the introduction on the guitar. Oh, please. So, we'll just start. Ready? Go. Homeward ways. We're riding up the past. We must walk down every day, and I can't find a place to lay. I'm weary at the rest, but I'll be on tomorrow, or so they say. Pray to God if we're crippled, and I pray to God if we're blind. To God who could not hear my prayers, and give me peace of mind. But I know that you're here with me. When I speak, Lord, you reply. And I'm walking home with you, although you walk into the sky on them homeward ways. When you're riding up the paths we must walk down every day, and I can't find a place to lay. I'm weary at the rest, but I'll be home tomorrow, or so they say. Well, you never know about the weather. Will it hold out till we're done? I love to wander with you, girl, but I'm scared I got to run. It seems the storms pay no attention. It seems the rain is bound to fall. But I know that I will walk with you in the morning after all. Back to them homeward ways. When you're riding up the paths we must walk down every day, and I can't find a place to lay. I'm weary at to rest, but I'll be home tomorrow, or so they say. And I'll be home tomorrow, or so they say.
The fun thing about that song is that when we learned it, he didn't know how to play guitar yet. When you were playing dulcimer, you didn't know how to play just barely. And he wrote this other song, and we couldn't do it in churches because he wrote it with this good friend of his who lives in Boston now. And we never could do it in programs or anything. And but we had so much fun doing it because this other friend of ours was with us. And so it's not a bad song at all, but you're going to be amazed at the similarities in the two. And we've never done it around anybody, so we're going to do it.
Should you explain the song a little bit more?
Yeah, this is a song I wrote I had some friends who just, I think it's great when friends of yours get married because then when you go home you only have to go to one house to see two people. And I thought, if all my friends got married, I would only have to spend half the time in Richmond that I used to have to spend. Because I don't
Anyone
have
get
to
a
go
hitch anywhere?
half the
You
places.
have to find more friends.
But the problem is then, you know, when people start not getting along, then you're stuck. The really funny thing happened last time I was home. I went to see a friend of mine, you know, and I said, well where's, you know, Shirley, I'll make up a name because I don't want to reveal. And he said, I don't know and I don't care. And I said, oh well, great, how have you been? And he said, I've been really bad. And I said, well, what's wrong? He said, well, I just got out of jail. And I said, well, what are you in jail for? And he said, well, because she bounced a $500 check. Her checking book was up $500. And I said, oh, that's why you're so mad at her, isn't it? And he said, yeah, I don't care. Well, in the meantime, she walks in. And they started this big argument, and I was sitting there, you know, and she kept saying, isn't that right, Rich? Isn't he? And he kept saying, isn't she a bumbling idiot, you know? And I was going, so I offered to wait in the car, but, you know, it just made me really sad because, you know, things were on their way out. Yeah, that has everything to do with this song.
I understand.
I never know.
They've had a history of not getting along too well, and so I wrote this song for them because I think there comes a time when, you know, like I know just from my own, like, very small-scale relationships, that you don't always feel wild about the people you're stuck with. But if you know, I think most of the time that you know, it's not always important to feel good about people, but it is important to be able to talk. And so I wrote this song for these two friends of mine that were married a while ago.
This is another one he used to do in the Dulcimer song.
There you go. All I want and on the streets wide. Not that I am out to change your heart, could not if I tried. Even if we'll never make amends, if we can make love, at least let's make some sense. Maybe I'm as hurt as you are, maybe I am not, but we've both been through a lot of that together. But now you say we're through, would I kind of remove my vulgar self from you? Goodbye forever, bye-bye. All I want is an honest reason why. Not that I'm out to change your heart, but not if I try. Even if we'll never make amends, if we can make love, at least let's make some sense. I'm not out to break you down or put you on a spot, and I never had a thought of being cruel. But I just wonder why that you won't even give us a try. It's some sad victim and I am a fool. I am a fool. All I want and honest reason why. Not that I'm out to change your heart, but not if I try. Even if we'll never make amends, if we can make love, at least let's make some sense. All I want is an honest reason why.
This is a song by Keith Green. And after that last song, it sort of variety, I guess, would be the way to put it. I feel really compelled to say this right now. It's kind of dramatic with the music in the background. It's like, send your dollars. But if you think about the fact if you're a committed Christian, which that's a real, in the loosest sense of the word, all of us trying. And God says if you lust in your heart and if you think evil in your heart or if you say in your heart you hate your brother, he knows that. So he obviously, if he knows all those times, he doesn't just spot check us and say, did she say she hated her brother? He hears everything that we do. And so when you put that in context to this song, the song is Make My Life a Prayer to You. So I think every thought that runs through my mind, in essence, is a prayer to God. And that's really frightening because I think of all the thoughts that go through my mind and all the hatefulness and the vindictiveness and the bitterness that sometimes I hold in my heart against other people for the most inane, stupid things. And then I remember that God says, pray without ceasing and pray with the spirit of truth. And so our lives should be a living testimony to God and a living prayer of what we feel for him and how we want to worship him. Make my life a prayer to you. I want to do what you want me to. No token prayers, no white lies. No spoken words, no compromise. I want to die and let you give your life to me so that I might live. You save me from my despair and comforts me to know you're really there. What a thank you now for being patient with me. Oh, it's so hard to see when my eyes are on me. I guess I have to trust and just believe what you say. 'Cause you're coming again. Coming to take me away. I want to die and let you give your life to me so that I might live and share the hope you gave to me, the love that set me free. I want to tell the world out there in that song they look fairy tale that I made up inside my head. And God, the sun, you've risen from the dead. I want to thank you now for being patient with me, 'cause it's so hard to see when my eyes are on me. I guess I have to trust and just believe what you say. 'Cause you're coming again and to take me away. I wanna die and let you give your life to me so that I can live and share the hope you give to me, the love that set me free. That's got to be one of my all-time favorites. Did not attempt to adjust your now reach the other. Is it my breath or what? Melting the microphone? Okay. I want somebody, if somebody's here who can explain this to me. You know how your parents
say illogical things to make a point. Do your parents ever do that? When I was home for Christmas, we were talking about something on a football team, and the cheerleaders were out there, and I said, it's unusual for me, but I said, those cheerleaders, those outfits are really cute, and they're half naked, and he got real upset. And he said, and this is what he said, if God had meant for us to go naked, he would have never invented the wicker chair. Now, can anyone explain that? And everything that I still touch at home, I'm 24, I'm going to be 25 in June. Everything that I touch at home, that's going to put your eye out. Did your dad, mom ever say that to you? You break your legs, don't come running to me. That's, This has nothing to do with the song, by the way, that I'm about to sing, but it's been plaguing me for many nights now since I got home from Christmas vacation. This song sort of requires, I guess, that you go on a little mental journey. I realize some of you do not have your luggage. At least a toothbrush, right? Yeah, I know, where's the cane, Now, I wrote this song because, as I said before, next to constantly trying to repent, or acting like I want to repent, I'm always regretting everything that I just said, everything that I just did. And I figured, if God can get a hold of somebody like Peter, who, just shot off his mouth all the time, just constantly, even when he was awake. And anyway, just take it that way. But, the Lord just promises. He doesn't, I don't know if anybody's here. I don't know who half of you people are. And the other half, which I didn't know. No, but I don't know if there's some of you here that aren't Christians or that you just came because there's nothing good on TV and you're bored and you don't have enough money to go to the show or what. But I don't want to paint the wrong kind of picture to anybody sitting up here in this seat that I have of somewhat of a responsibility, because I feel that it is. But as cliche as it sounds, Christians aren't perfect. They are just forgiven, and it's the big watchword of the evening, forgiveness. I screw up so bad every day, constantly, continually, sometimes more than that. And yet the Lord still loves me, and how could anybody live without that? How can you go through your daily life and go to work and come home and go to work and come home and go to work and come home and not have anything? The one argument that I use with people that don't believe in God or that don't believe that they have to maintain their spiritual welfare is that you wouldn't think a thing about depriving yourself of a book or of learning. I realize.
How many times have you wished with a longing in your mind for the rebirth of you, for your innocence and troubled times, when everything seems so new and life still held a surprise? Even if you say you don't want to go back, I see it in your eyes. So Father, lead me till you let me begin again. Here I'll find my heart, allow me a friend inside. How many times have you wished with a longing in your soul for a fresh start at life, for a new chance to be made whole, to start all over again with no ghosts from your past, 'cause Jesus promised us a forever life. It's the only kind there. So Father, lead me to the land of beginning again. Here I find my heart, and let me friend inside. You must believe in me if you wish to enter me to his land of beginnings. Call me the author, center of my faith. You put you on a steady course and help me run this race. Call me my counselor, listen while he talks. Put you on a journey, unlike everyone. 'Cause we have a love that can conquer anything. I found the joy in looking up and not call me the maker, 'cause I know the song. Can you say you believe in him when you never hear his call? Call me my healer, takes away the strain. When men are broken, it's sudden self-inflicted pain. 'Cause we have a love that can conquer anything. We found real joy in looking at nothing. How many times have you wished with a longing in your mind for the reboot of you, for your innocence from childhood times, when everything seems so new and life still held a surprise? Even if you say you don't want to go back there, I see it in your eyes. So Father, lead me to your land of beginning again. Here I'll find my heart, allow me a brand new start. How many times have you wished with a longing in your soul for a fresh start at life, for a new chance to be made whole, to start all over again with no ghosts from your past? 'Cause Jesus promised us a forever life. It's the only kind there left. So Father, lead me to the land of beginning again. Here I'll find my heart, and I'll be brand new start. You must believe in me if you wish to enter me to his land of beginnings. you wanna steady course and help me run this race. Come with my counsel, listen while we talk. Would you wanna journey or like everyone? 'Cause we have a love that can conquer anything. I found the joy that love brings. Can you say you believe in you when you never hear us call? Come meet my hand, takes away the strain. When men are broken, it's still your self-inflicted pain. We have a love that can conquer everything. We found with joy. That love brings.